Hi guys, this is Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge. We're looking at this little guy, under 3-inch blade, liner lock. Who makes this knife? Enlan makes this knife, and it's available at GearBest right now. And this is on sale right now, 50% off for $9.99 US. Canadian dollars, that's closer to $12.50, something like that. I'll give you the rest of the prices later on. And that sale is going on for about 2 weeks. This is a nice little drop point knife. If you look at it from this side especially, this is a very sweet little knife. Hollow grind. It's a budget knife for sure, 8CR13 steel. So I think you're interested. You want to stick around for the full review. My hands are large, bordering on extra large. That's sort of like between 10 and 11 in the European glove sizes for men's hands. And I can get all 4 fingers on this handle for a good grip if you want to grip it this way. Or you can 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 grip it. It'll take any kind of grip, and it's quite comfortable. The hollow grind is sharpened quite well. I've put my own sharpening on it with my TS Prof K02 sharpening system. Nice little sharpener's choil right here. Hollow grind, 8CR13 MOV stainless steel drop point, thumb studs right and left, stainless steel liners, no jimping anywhere, open pillar construction, and you just have simple round pillars. Really nice lanyard hole. You can fit any paracord you want in there. I love that these screws back here are, flush to the surface of the handle, and same with on the show side here. It actually comes to a very slight peak right at the point of the center there. It isn't totally flat. It's more of a cone shaped right there. The other screws over here are traditional round head screws. The pivot screw and the pocket clip screws are the same way. I don't really like this pocket clip. I don't mind tip down, but I don't like that. Well, I'll show you. I'll show you what I don't like about it. That's what I don't like about it. That you've got an inch sticking out of your pocket. So 2 and a bit centimeters. They could have easily made it higher. Even if they put it as a tip down pocket clip, they could have done so many different things to make a better pocket clip on here. So what am I going to do about that? Well, I'll show you what I'm going to do about that. I've had this knife for, 9 or 10 months now. Shortly after I first got it, GearBest no longer had it in stock for a little while. And so I didn't do the review. And then I promptly forgot that I had it. And I found it recently in my stock of knives, and there's the clip with 3 screws. It's a very secure system. I do like that, and it's very functional. It works very well in the pocket. I just don't like that it shows off so much. This is how I usually carry this knife. I just drop it in my pocket like this, and it flips open very well. There's very slight blade play, and opens very well with the left hand. It takes a little bit extra to undo the lock when you've got it in your left hand. And that's where maybe a tiny bit of jimping there would be a good thing to help you when you go to close the knife with your left hand. It's not that easiest for me to flip it out quickly with my left hand. If there was, the thumb stud is close to the liner, but not, close to the handle scale, but not super close. Even so, I wish there was a little bit more of a cutout like this side. If the 2 sides were identical with that little bit of a cutout there, that would be great. But this isn't bad at all. Like I'm showing you, I can open it with my left hand very easily. For years, I forced myself to learn knives with my right hand, even though I am left-handed. And so I'm actually better at knives with my right hand now than I ever was with my left. That works really good. The plunge line looks great. The Ricasso's nice. You got a nice flat area here to clamp onto when you go to sharpen it. Nice sharpener's choil. Really good blade shape. Lots of belly. And just a short flat area back here. The grip on the G10, the texture there is very good. Very comfortable in hand when you've got the pocket clip off especially. It's nice and thin. I'll give you all the dimensions. Well, why don't I do that right now? Let's talk about all these dimensions of this knife. We'll zoom in a little bit for that. So the cutting edge and the blade length are identical. 6.77 centimeters, 2.67 inches. The blade thickness is 2.46 millimeters. That's 0.0965 inches. So almost 1/10 of an inch thick. The thickness of the edge behind the grind. So I measure just after that final grind right there, just over 0.5 millimeter. Which is 0.0205 inches. Nice and thin. That's almost the perfect thickness of the edge behind the grind for 8CR13 MOV steel. That's thick enough to give it strength and not so thin that it'll roll over and chip easily. Really good blade shape. The hollow grind, everything about this blade is done very, very well for this type of steel, and even just for general EDC use. This is an EDC machine. Handle length, 9.59 centimeters. That's 3.78 inches. The grip area is 8.4 centimeters, 3.3 inches. The handle thickness, 1.14 centimeters. That's 0.45 of an inch. Not bad at all. Just under 0.5 inch there. The total length of this knife with the blade deployed is 16.4 centimeters, which is 6.46 inches. So you got a 6.5 inch knife. Great size, and yet it fits a big hand like mine. It weighs 73 grams, which is just over 2.5 ounces. How much does this thing cost? It's 50% off right now for the next 13, 14 days. Well, it depends on when I post this. January 19th is when the sale is over on this. January 19th, 2018. It's on for $9.99 until then. That's US dollars. And there's a little bit of shipping that they charge on here as well. Canadian dollars, it's $12.94, which is just under $13 Canadian. Euros, it's 8.58. Pound sterling, 7.56. And the shipping charge goes down per item if you buy more than one item, and it can be different items. It's just if you've got 2 items that have shipping on them, your shipping won't be those 2 shipping prices added together. It'll be those prices added together minus a bit. So it's always good to buy more than one thing from GearBest if those items have some shipping on them. There's a lot of items in their store that don't have shipping. It's just the knives tend to have a little bit. You've got a white nylon and a phosphor bronze washer in there. So let's see if I can get this to focus, because I'm not going to take it apart. You can see the white nylon washer just inside there if you look carefully. And then on the other side, see if the light, there you go. You can see the reflection there from it. You can see that phosphor bronze washer. That's on this side right there. So white nylon, phosphor bronze, and it works very well. Like I said, just a tiny bit of blade play side to side, none up and down. The lockup, I'll show you a close-up of this. It's right around halfway across, maybe just a little bit past, depending on where you measure. There's no skeletonizing anywhere. Doesn't need it. Nice light knife. Let's talk about the likes and dislikes and other specifics about this knife. I really like how thin it is behind the grind. There's an awful lot of knives that are thicker than this. This is right around 0.5 millimeter again. Just very good for this steel. It cuts very well. I'll show you that in just a little while. I like those flush screws. I like that sharpener's choil. I like the thumb stud, the left thumb stud. Lanyard hole is awesome. Pocket clip sucks. And that's the whole knife. And that's what I think of it. Torque screws everywhere. That's a good thing. Let's do some cut tests. So cuts straight down very well. Let's see how well it cuts. Cuts quite well. I did sharpen this knife when I first got my TS Prof. Oh, there you go. So you can see that that edge looks really nice, but it does need another stropping. I can tell. Let's see if it cuts some heavier duty stuff like this USB wire. Not bad. Let's try cutting through this way. Hopefully I was on camera, just in case I wasn't. Try again. Yeah, it cuts through very, very well. Or you can slice it. Often use it this way for that kind of cutting. Of course, you can use it this way as well. And you can see in here that we've got, 4 wires in there, and there's copper wire. Whoop. You can see there's 4 wires in here, and there's copper inside those wires. And then there's a little bit of a metallic. Can you see that sheen there? Yeah, there you go. You can see that there's some metallic sheathing in there as well. So it does take a bit to cut through that kind of stuff, and this knife does just fine. I think you got a good idea of what this knife is like. If you like it, I think it's definitely worth $10. So if you're watching this in January, hopefully before the 19th or before the end of the day on the 19th, go ahead and get yourself a really nice little knife. Great for in your glove box. If you take the pocket clip off, just leave it in the glove box of your vehicle, maybe in a toolbox, maybe in a fishing tackle box. 8CR13 doesn't rust terribly easily. I live in a dry part of Canada, so I really don't have a problem with knives rusting, but hopefully you don't either. But if you're looking for something budget that's nice and you don't mind the one flaw about the pocket clip, then accept my recommendation for this knife. A big thanks to my Patreon supporters. You guys mean an awful lot to me. Thank you to everybody else who likes the videos, comments, shares, all that other great stuff. And just a tiny little update. My mom is doing okay. She's stable with her health. She's very tired all the time, quite sore. But she's still kicking around, doing what she can to keep going as strongly as she can. Thanks to those of you who support. I'm going to give a link to a page to support my mother's health expenses. Her care is very expensive, and the care that she can handle isn't covered by insurance. So, if you want to help her out, thank you very much for doing that. And if you don't want to, don't feel bad about saying no thanks. Not a big deal. You don't know my mother, but if you want to help out, I thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and remember to always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.